Hey everybody, welcome back to Martha's MS Stem Cell Story. I want to do a video today because it's getting close to my trip to the Holy Land, and I had to totally regroup on the keto snacks that I decided to pack. If you remember, a few weeks ago I went to California and I did a video on all the things that I packed and took for snacks so that I could stay on my keto diet. So I thought I was home free. I thought I had a good plan, but then I found out that I can't take meat or meat or dairy into the country. So I kind of had to break this up into two sections for my snacks because that totally blew everything out of the water for me. So on the airplane, I can take meat and cheese. So that is what I'm going to do. So kind of have everything laid out here. So the first is going to be what I'm taking on the plane. And this was in my last video, the summer sausage, which is a really good balance of carbs, protein, fat for a keto diet. So I'm going to slice that up and put that into a Ziploc bag. And then this, I haven't tried it yet, but it's Kerrygold grass-fed aged cheddar cheese. So a lot of people who do keto, you'll hear them talk about the Kerrygold grass-fed butter. And so I was very happy to find the cheese today because I didn't know we had it in our town, and they also had a coupon, so I decided I would try it. So I will slice this up and also put it in a Ziploc bag. So these two things will be like either snack or meal replacement depending on what kind of meal I get on the plane. It's a 10-hour, I think it's like a 10-hour flight from here to Frankfurt, and then we have a layover, and then we go on into Tel Aviv. So 10 hours on a flight, that's probably 2 meals and 2 or 3 snacks. So I will have that to keep my fat and my protein and carbs all right where they need to be while I'm traveling. So I also found these. I got 2 different ones. This one has carrots, celery, ranch, and cheddar cheese, and this one has carrots, ranch, and cheddar cheese. So I'm probably going to try both of them in the next day or two, and then decide which one I think I want to take on the trip with me. Again, since it has cheese, I will have to eat it on the plane or throw it away before I go through customs. So that, oh, I got one more thing for the flight. Hummus, and they come in these little individual servings. They're like 2 ounces. So if I do decide to take this, I will probably take celery or something to eat it with. So that takes care of everything that I want to eat on the plane. So I was trying to brainstorm and come up with travel snacks that will be high in fat, moderate protein, very low carb, that travel well, they don't have to be refrigerated, that kind of thing, and that I can actually take into the country. So I do have some little individual serving sizes of peanut butter, and I also have the 100 calorie pack almonds, salted almonds. So I had those 2 things. So I just kept trying to brainstorm, and I'm thinking, you know, nuts, I mean, there's my protein, there's my fat, but I don't want to get burned out on nuts. So I try to come up with different flavors. So this, I'm going to make more because I just made kind of a small batch, and which basically ended up being like 2 servings. So these are pecans, and they are maple cinnamon pecans. And I basically just looked at a bunch of recipes to see how you do glazed nuts and made my own recipe. So I used 1 tablespoon of butter because I wanted that butter to add fat to my snack. And then I did 1 tablespoon of organic real maple syrup because I wanted just a little bit of sweetness, and I did half a teaspoon of cinnamon. So, and I just melted all that together and then threw my pecans in there, and I let the pecans kind of cook and kind of soak some of that fat up. And then I put it in the oven on about 200 for about 10 minutes, and they are fabulous. So I will definitely do more of those so that I can have some variety with my snacks. The other thing that I'm going to grab a couple of things here. So the other thing I thought, you know, I can probably eat well with protein and low carb while I'm there. And so I just was thinking, okay, let me come up with something that I can make sure I can always add fat to my diet each day. And of course, I thought of fat bombs, but I also thought, a lot of times that those are not refrigerated, they don't stay solid. Um, so I came up just from looking at several fat bomb recipes, and I have actually 2 of these little tubs, and I'm just going to eat it with a spoon. I'm going to freeze these, put them in a Ziploc bag, put them in my checked luggage, and take some plastic spoons. That way I can add fat to my diet every single day. Okay, so that recipe also I made up. So my body does not tolerate like Swerve and Splenda, the sugar alcohols that you see in a lot of low carb diets. So I decided I would just use 70% chocolate. That's sweet enough, but it's still not really high in carbs, but it's sweet enough for me. If I get more than 70-75%, I don't like it that much. It's more bitter. So I used this entire bar, and I used a cup of peanut butter, just regular Jif peanut butter. And then I added 2 tablespoons of Kerrygold butter and 2 tablespoons of coconut oil, because again, I'm trying to get my fat intake up. And then I added like a half a teaspoon of vanilla. And I just melted all that together. And while it was still warm, poured it into my little tubs. They're going to go into the freezer. And I'll, take them out of the freezer when I'm, packing and getting in the car the day I leave, in hopes that they'll stay cool for a while I'm traveling. None of these ingredients have to be refrigerated. Being refrigerated just makes a difference of, how soft is it. So I thought I'm going to start out frozen and let it thaw along the way. So these are my ideas for traveling and trying to maintain a keto diet. I also talked to a friend of mine. Her husband travels a lot, and his company is actually based in Israel. And he told me that if I will choose a meal from the kosher menu, that I should be able to maintain my keto diet. I haven't really done much research into that, but that's very exciting to me because I can even order a keto meal a kosher meal on the airplane. So I'm going to do some more research on that, and on my next video, I'll let y'all know what I find out. I really have, after the first week of doing the ketogenic diet, I've been in ketosis the entire time. I feel great. I've lost like 12 pounds. I have energy. I don't have any pain. I don't want to travel and get knocked out of ketosis. So I'm going to do my best to stay that way. Hopefully I can track some of my meals. I don't know. I'll be busy. But I guess the telltale sign will be how I feel and, whether or not I lose or gain weight over the 10-day period. So I will definitely come back and do another video and let you know how it went. If I'm really good, I don't know if I will be, but if I'm really good, I may post some live videos of, the menu, foods I've chosen to eat, how I feel, trying to maintain the diet. So, like I always tell you, please like, subscribe, and share my YouTube channel. And also, if you're interested, go and join my Facebook group. And I will try to either leave these 2 recipes in comments or insert them in my video. We'll see how that goes. All right, I will talk to you guys later.